You know, the snow is starting to clear up in our area, probably temporarily speaking, because they are talking about another forecast this weekend of having some snowfall. But I'm going to venture to say it, even if it does happen, it's not going to be to the level that we had previously, and my light just went out, so I'm going to go with it. I decided to wear something fruity because I typically would not choose this for a wintertime fragrance. However, today it really worked because the weather has been, I think today was upwards of at least the mid 50s. And so that is to us as 70-degree weather might be to someone who is in Florida. Very mild, moderate, but people around here are ready to wear t-shirts and shorts because it has been so frigid. I grabbed my LaTricia Now Woman. See this? I do not like the bottle, have never liked the bottle, but I'm right here on the fragrance because the fragrance is everything you love about Burberry Her Elixir. And this bottle is so campy and rubbery, but again, we're not wearing this as a brooch or an accessory. We're wearing the fragrance, so I can get over the bottle. But if you're familiar with the Burberry Her Elixir fragrance, it is the one in the solid pink, powdery soft pink bottle. That is the one I'm referring to. And this is so reasonably priced. I mean, if you're paying more than, dare I say, $25, keep shopping because the price can be as low as 15. Really, between 15 and 19, maybe $18, you can get this. Even if you go to Amazon, you should still be able to get this as a reasonable price. But you're getting the same fragrance as far as I'm concerned. No one's going to argue with you about whether or not you're wearing Burberry Her Elixir, unless you choose to share, and that is certainly your prerogative. But I'm telling you, let me share with you the notes. The top notes are red fruits and orange, and you do get lots of red fruits with this. Marshmallow, lily of the valley, and jasmine are your middle notes, and in the base you have musk, moss, and vanilla. I don't get any of the base notes. I get all of the top, and that's what makes this fragrance so Burberry Her Elixir forward friendly. It's so much like that fragrance. I mean, I dare you to spray this on the one hand and then go into Sephora and spray Burberry Her Elixir, or vice versa, but compare the two fragrances and you'll be hard pressed to determine which is which. It is that close, and I'm standing by that. I want to show you what I paired with it because this too is from LaTricia. This fragrance is called Dream of Haze. So let me just give you a moment to look at the bottle while I pull up the notes. You see the difference in the bottle. This one is very elaborate and ornate. It is very heavy. You could probably put this as an accent on your desk at work and no one would think that it's a fragrance bottle. It just looks like something that you might have purchased from abroad in your travels. It's just so pretty. And it is incredibly heavy. So if you told someone it was a paperweight, they would probably believe you, or a trophy of some kind. This is absolutely beautiful. Let me remove the cap for you. So here's the cap. And this is also weighted. Here's the base of the cap. And here's the base of the fragrance. It's showing you the brand name and what have you. So let me share with you the notes on this. I'm going to post the notes here for you because the primary of what I'm picking up is certainly not the fresh mint in the top. I'm getting lots and lots of apple shisha accord, and dare I say it, a little bit of the tonka bean and a little bit of amber, because this fragrance is heavy weighted in the base. You're going to smell all of that, and it's going to help the fragrance lean forward and stick with you. This has got a long longevity on the sillage. I would say that gave me about 6 hours on my clothing. I don't usually wear it on my skin. I could, but I just don't because I don't want to irritate it. And on my clothing, it's about 6 hours, and you can certainly top off if you'd like, but this is absolutely delightful, and it probably does not smell like anything else in your collection, unless you have something that is upwards of 500 plus fragrances, which for many of you, it may be. You may have a wall full or a drawer full. For me, I have maybe between 150 to 200 fragrances. I really have not gone back to count because I'm trying very diligently to shrink that collection down, because again, when I initially allowed it to grow that large, it had swollen to something way out of my control. But again, that was from a very painful emotional place in my heart. And you know that story if you bother to watch my other videos, but I'm shrinking that down now. And these two, even with this wonky style of bottle, will definitely stay in my collection. They smell so wonderful together. Light, fruity, sweet, and I'm not going to say it's a pretty girl fragrance, but I will say it is a very girly fragrance, and I have enjoyed every bit of it today. So I also want to feature with you another Black-owned fragrance brand. So let's take a look at that brand. So today I want to share with you my four-piece discovery set from Octavia Morgan, and here's my set. So while I'm showing you this, I want you to know that on her website, she features an 8-piece collection of 2 milliliter fragrance samples. And this one I purchased from ULTA. And I do want to make mention to you that the four selections in the ULTA collection is very, very different than the four-piece collection you might have seen on Amazon. And certainly both are very, very different from the 8-piece collection featured on her website. So let me tell you what the four-piece selection is that I have. The one that I purchased from Ulta has Dark Rose, Legendary, L'Affaire, and Midnight Orchard. However, the one on Amazon, should you choose, it has none of these that I just mentioned. It has Summer Fleur, Marine Layer. There's another fragrance in French that I don't know how to pronounce, and there you have it. I don't even know that I knew about this when I first made my initial selection. So let me show you the 8 pieces that she has on her site, and I'll just post that in the editing so that you can see the entire lineup of what she has to offer. But nevertheless, I'm going to share with you these because I have no idea, less Midnight Orchard, what they might smell like. And I did try Dark Rose in store. I've already shared with you my experience with testers, and sometimes the testers just don't give the full impression of what the fragrance might really, really have to offer if it is fresh and immediately made available. So this is how it comes. I just removed them from the box, and this is so pretty. On the back of her box, this is the front. I don't know if you can see the iridescent finish on the box. Probably not because the lighting is off. But when you receive this, this has a soft iridescent finish on it. And on the back, you have the fragrances listed. And while there is very fine print, it does also have the fragrance notes for each fragrance that is highlighted in the collection. So here are the different selections. I love that they are in their own individual boxes. So let's go ahead and start with Legendary because that is the one that is on the top. I know nothing about these fragrances, but I will share with you what they are. Legendary is a woody, spicy, clean eau de parfum fragrance. So let's take a look at Legendary. Do you have any Octavia Morgan fragrances? If you do, please comment and share which ones you find to be your favorite or which one you think I should try next as far as purchasing. So here is my Legendary. Here it is. And I'm going to go ahead and just spray it for you. I've already indicated what fragrance it is. Floral, fruity, woody, sexy. Oh, mercy. It is definitely woody. Woody, spicy, clean is what this one's supposed to share. And I'm getting lots and lots of woods. It smells a little mossy to me. This is very, very earthy, very, very grounding. This is not the fragrance for those of you who want the marshmallow and the cupcake and the buttercream icing. This is not that at all. This is not even in the same aisle as that. This I liken to Book from Commodity. Have you ever tried Book? Book is a very earthy, grounding, foundational type of a fragrance. I mean, it's the kind that you could imagine running your fingers through the soil if you're a plant or if you're putting out a flower bed in the spring. That's how I think about something when it smells like Book. This smells like that. It doesn't list any additional notes on the Ulta site. Let me see if I can get some more details on her website for this fragrance. I love that she's saying trust your senses. Yes, you do need to trust your senses because your experience with this is going to be very different from mine and anyone else that might be listening. But I like Legendary. I won't say that it's definitely something I would seek to purchase immediately, but because I'm starting to really appreciate the earthy, mossy, grounding, soil-like fragrances, I would certainly purchase it. I wouldn't wear it every day, much like I don't wear Book every day, but I did purchase Book in a travel size, but I also would get it in a full size. So while I certainly don't want to highlight commodity, I do want you to understand my relation to how I see it as an earthy fragrance. And here it is confirmed on her site. It is definitely very clean, very earthy, and Very, very grounding. It is like keeping your foot forward. I like that. I like that. Very nice fragrance. Okay, let's move on to our next feature. We have our dark rose. Let me share with you dark rose. This is the floral, fruity, woody, and sexy eau de parfum. And here it is. So here we go with dark rose. This is the one I've heard so much talk about. And so when I went into Ulta that day, I was ready to walk out with a full bottle, but they only had the tester available for all of these. They had the tester available, as a matter of fact, for these 4 that are in the set, which makes sense. That might be the only 4 that they're allotted to sell. So they had testers for Dark Rose, Legendary, Affair, and Midnight Orchard. I just fell in love with Midnight Orchard, and so therefore I ordered on the spot that particular fragrance. Dark Rose, ladies and gentlemen. This is the one I hear all the time on YouTube. Lots and lots of commentary about Dark Rose. Let's see. It is a dark rose. Sultry and refined is what she gives this as a description. I like it. It would not be... I will say it's not necessarily something that I would seek after to make a purchase for. I don't get... Maybe because I'd probably have to wear this one. Pardon me. This fragrance probably smells better on the skin, so let me try that. I'm not getting as much rose as I would like. That's probably what it is. I'm not getting the rose that I would really like to have. I'm going to be very careful with where I spray because I don't want to irritate my skin. Thankfully, it's not inflamed. I'm getting the sultry nature of it being on the skin. It is so funny how the application of a fragrance differs so much on paper to skin, but when you wear the fragrance, you're not wearing pieces of paper. So smell the paper, that's what I'm wearing now. They're going to smell it either on your apparel or on your skin, so it makes good sense. I don't know why we don't just spray it on our skin to begin with, but I really like this. I like this much better on my skin. However, it is still not something that I would purchase right away. Now, maybe if it was paired with something, but again, if I don't get the grab immediately from the fragrance, I don't want to purchase it just to say I have it and then depend on it being paired with something else for the enjoyment of it. I'm not going to do that. But it is a respectable fragrance. I do like it, and I certainly would recommend it. If it's something that you're looking for, it's certainly worth the trip to Ulta to give it a spray and see what you think for yourself. But for me, so far, I would rank this as Legendary being first and then Dark Rose, but we do have 2 additional fragrances to try. I really like these 2 milliliter bottles because they really do give me all the information I need. If I really like a fragrance, then I will get the travel, and then I will decide based on the performance of that travel if I want to get a full bottle. But everyone is different. Some people don't like these little fellas at all. I like them. They're reasonably priced, and I can get so many. I can get more than one if I want to, spray a little bit more. But sometimes all you need is just to know if you want the fragrance or not. I'm sorry. This is very, very soft. I'm going to have to spray this on my skin because I'm getting nothing right now that I need from that paper. Hold on. Spraying it on the skin as you just saw. Let me see what it does. Extremely soft. Okay, yes. I'm getting some crisp citrusness out of the fragrance now. I like, but okay, so if I had to put this in an order, I almost want to say it's a close second to Legendary. It wouldn't take the third place that Dark Rose is now in. I would still choose Legendary first, and then Affair and Dark Rose. But as we know, I did purchase Midnight Orchard, so that's definitely going to be in the number one spot. But the more I'm sniffing this is, I don't know what to make of this because you see me with a puzzled look because I'm getting citrus, but then I also get this crisp note, so I don't know if it wants to be clean or citrus, or perhaps both. It's a head scratcher. In a good way, but I would wear something like that to the gym. It's definitely office friendly. I don't know who outside of yourself would smell that one. I don't think that one's going to have a strong sillage. I could be wrong, and you could always overspray anything that you're wearing, but this is definitely something that's friendly on the bus, anything in close quarters if you're traveling, in a car, at church, even in the medical professions, teachers, whatever, if you're in those spaces where people have allergies and they don't like the scent of fragrance, well, there you go. They can have this one. But I want a sillage, or at least something that will brighten my spirits and remind me that I did spray something this morning. It is nice fragrance though, but it would not be my next purchase. hmm Yes, that would not be my next purchase. So let me go ahead and round out the segment with Midnight Orchard. And this is Juicy and Chic. I like that description. I don't know that I got juicy from it, but it is, I will say, chic. Oh, yeah, it is juicy. I can almost taste the fruit. And this is like a warm fruit, like a heated fruit. You know how some fruits come in desserts, but they're warm. They're not cold right out the can or right out the refrigerator. This is not a refrigerated fruit. This is something that has been heated and warmed. I just love Midnight Orchard. I don't know why people don't speak about it, but I don't necessarily need to be a part of a popularity contest when it comes to a fragrance that I enjoy. This is definitely the number one spot for my ranking. So again and again, Midnight Orchard would be my first place winner. Directly behind that would be Legendary. I love that earthy, grounding fragrance of Legendary. Love, 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 love. Right behind that, I would probably choose L'Affaire because I love a good fragrance I can wear to the gym, and I like the intriguing, crisp citrus nature of this fragrance. And then I would follow it up with Dark Rose. That is my ranking. I can't necessarily say I would add those last two to my collection, but certainly the first two I would absolutely add to my collection. So Miss Octavia Morgan, I would absolutely take a look at her site. She is a part of the wonderful, wonderful segment of Black-owned fragrances, and not just because this is Black History Month, but because it is a good fragrance house and certainly worth the opportunity to take its place in your collection. So if you have not yet tried Octavia Morgan, it is certainly worth the while to pick up your own selection of either a four-piece set from ULTA, from Amazon, understanding that the two are going to be very different, or just get the combination of both from her website and get all 8. Give me your opinions, share your thoughts, share your comments. I look forward to hearing from you very, very soon, and I will speak with you in our next video. Thanks again for stopping by. I appreciate you so much.